I'm Dr. Gail Dubinsky, orthopedic medicine physician and certified Kundalini yoga instructor. Today's Strand of Pearls longer exercise sequence is called lower back adjustment. I have created this sequence out of a few different components: a warm-up with cat pose, going to dog pose, then 2 sequential exercises that come out of a Kundalini Kriya for detoxification actually, and then some very lovely cool down twists, forward bends, and Shavasana. It takes between 10 and 15 minutes, and it's basically for an advanced beginner, moderate degree of difficulty, medium, slight to medium degree of difficulty. I'm not going to be offering any modifications for this Kriya or this sequence. So let's just, with no further ado, begin. We'll start with cat pose. So come onto your hands and knees. And what we're going to do is, since we're really emphasizing the low back, we're going to instead of being completely hips over knees and shoulders, right over hands, I'm going to move it back a little bit so the hips are a little bit behind. Now, if you have wrist problems, you can do this one like this. All right, so we're going to begin for about a minute. So inhaling, head and chest up. Exhale. Really emphasize the rolling up of the sit bones, and with the inhale and the tucking of the sit bones and lifting of the lower belly on the exhale. Try to de-emphasize the rounding of the upper back. That happens very easily. It's getting the lower back to really move in its full range of motion from flexing to extending. So this exercise is not designed for people that have severe low back problems. That's more in the realm of a specialized one-on-one design yoga sequence, but this is for those of us whose low back gets glitchy, and this can really, really be a great help. Okay, inhale, and on your exhale, come on back and then lift up into a downward dog pose. So start by extending the arms fully and bringing your chest and head in between the arms and slowly straightening the legs, which may or may not completely straighten. Try to inflate the entire pose with your breath and never lose an opportunity to stretch those feet. Okay, one more breath, inhale, and then exhale, slowly, carefully coming down. Bring your knees down, bring your belly forward, elbows back. We're going to come all the way to line on our stomachs. And we're going to be coming up into a kind of a cobra repetitively. So we're going to be having our hands under the shoulders, elbows back, shoulders down, hugging the ribs. Take a breath in. We're going to exhale up and inhale down. And we'll start with, you may not go as far initially. The movement is forward and up, forward and down. Forward and up, forward and down. Try not to overly squeeze your buttocks. And just for fun, try exhaling through your mouth. This helps the detoxification component. Inhale. Keep the elbows and shoulders back and down. Remember to keep the butt from squeezing too much.
Just a few more. Now on your next exhalation, come up and go ahead and straighten your arms, and you can even bring your hips off the ground. Keep the buttocks relaxed, shoulders down, and then from the navel point, propel backwards and come to a high butt in the air child's pose. One breath here. Exhaling, coming back a little further. Your toes can be under or back, whatever works for you. And then all the way back on the last breath. And if you like, you can even do baby pose, take your arms behind. Breathing into the low back. All right, now we're going to go ahead and lie down on our backs. And our movement is breathing in. Exhale, bring the knees in as the arms come up. Inhale out, exhale. Try to bring the legs down with control. If you are lacking in core strength, you can bring your heels down more quickly and then slide them out, as opposed to having the hands and the heels coming down at the same time. As you bring your legs out, try to keep the low back flat on the floor. That involves pressing your belly and your core down toward your spine, toward the floor. Exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, and then just go ahead and wrap your hands around your knees. And then I'm going to change my position so you can see what we're doing next. We're going to do spinal twists in a few different ways. So the first is to take a breath in, exhale, go to one side, and just support the knees with this hand as you stretch this arm out. Keep the shoulder down. You don't have to in any way go all the way to the floor at all. Inhale up, exhale over. Let's repeat that once. You can go a little further this time if you want. Okay, now, one way, if we really want to take seriously the adjustment of the low back part, we're going to shift our hips over to be more in line with the right shoulder, so that when we roll over to the side, our hip is going to be up pretty much in the middle of the midline of the body. And then we're going to go ahead and just come here, bringing the knees a little bit toward that opposite shoulder. Feet can touch the ground or not. Coming on up, then you got to bring your feet down, move the hips to the other side, up high into the chest, going over to the opposite shoulder, and then you can drop them more out to the side. Inhaling up and down. Let's repeat that. Shift, lift up high, sort of scooping toward the shoulder and then lowering down toward the side. Inhaling up, feet down, shift, lift again, rolling toward the shoulder and then down toward the side. Inhaling up, And then the last thing we're going to do, we're going to shift again, and then we take the left leg over, and then we bring the knee that's underneath down toward the ground. This right foot can go ahead, the big toe can touch the ground. The shoulder will get a little light. You're not reaching, you're not trying to get your knees on the floor. Just a great butt stretch. And then you can bring your foot down, shift, lift up again, and go down. So the leg on top gently pushes down, but you're not aiming for the floor, or you're not trying to get to the floor. I mean, you're facing the floor. Okay. Then we'll come back to center, do a little brief, just stretch the low back out, and then we're going to sit up, sitting cross-legged. And in case we didn't get all the tension out of our hips yet, we're going to do a cross-legged forward bend, keeping the low back expanded, but the front body long. Take as many breaths as you need. Your forehead may or may not touch the ground. Breathe into your buttocks. Breathe into the sides of the hips that creates so much tightness in the low back from their own tension. Slowly come on up. Change the cross. I'm really big on changing the cross of the legs. You get all the asymmetries out that way. You want to not reinforce one-sided habits in the body. Breathe into any area that needs expansion, that needs release, that needs opening, that needs more lightness. And we're slowly going to come up, and now we're ready for a nice Shavasana. So I'm going to advance, say Namaste, and allow you to have as nice and long a Shavasana as you like. So as you lie down, you want to do a little traction on your low back so that you have a nice low back, flat low back. You want to open up the shoulders, lift the neck out, and then just relax. Letting your breath come to be relaxed. And if after all we did, you still don't have complete relaxation in your low back, feel free to get a cushion under your knees. All the fine points of Shavasana I have in a separate clip on just Shavasana. So namaste. Enjoy anywhere from 2 to 5 minutes or longer. Hope you enjoyed this video and that practice helps reduce pain and stress and enhance your well-being. Please check out my other short videos on this channel and my full-length videos at rxyoga.com. I welcome your comments, likes, feedback, and suggestions for new videos. And don't forget to subscribe. Namaste.